In use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Contact ground on 121.675 for taxi. Advise on initial contact, you have information Papa. Craig Field information Papa. Time 0420 Zulu. Windcom visibility 10 plus miles. Sky conditions, few clouds at 4300 feet. Scattered clouds at 5000 feet. Broken clouds at 6000 feet. Temperature 9 Celsius. Dew point 7. Altimeter 29 tree. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Contact ground on 121.675 for taxi. Advise on initial contact, you have information Papa. Craig Field information Papa.
Craig Ground, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. I'm planning to do a VFR departure to the east. I'm going to head over to Montgomery Regional. Probably going to fly at 3,500.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, clearance on request. Stand by. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, taxi to runway tree 2 via taxiway Alpha. Advise when ready for departure. Departure frequency 124.0, squawk tree 501.
Taxi to runway 32 via Alpha. We'll let you know when I'm ready, and I'll head over to 124.0. I'm going to squawk tree 501. Thanks. Craig Ground, looking at my chart, runway tree 2 is no longer in use. Can I get runway tree 3 instead? I'm going to go ahead and put a custom airport procedures request in for that.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, affirmative, taxi to runway tree via Alpha. Departure frequency 124.0, squawk tree 501. And confirm you have information Papa. Please read back your clearance. King Air 145 Kilo Alpha, make a 180-degree turn and backtrack on runway tree 0, hold short of taxiway Charlie. Making a 180 and backtrack on runway 0, hold short of taxiway Charlie, King Air 145 Kilo Alpha.
Craig Ground, Bonanza 1, Delta Delta. I'm going to go to taxi runway tree via Alpha. The departure is 124.0. I am squawking 3501, and I do have Papa.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, red back correct.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off. Hawker 511 Hotel, Alpha proceed to holding point Charlie via taxiway Bravo.
Proceeding to holding point Charlie via Bravo Hawker 511 Hotel Alpha.
Craig Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, holding short of runway tree, ready to departure to west.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta winds tree 29er at 4 after departure, fly runway, heading climb, and maintain VFR at or below 2500 until clear of the Delta airspace runway tree cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff for runway tree, maintain runway heading and climbing 2,500 until clear of the Delta. Thank you.
Transporter, good flight and land softly.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, contact departure on 124.
KMGM departure on 124.0 for Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. Thank you. Departure Bonanza 141 Delta Delta 1,600 climbing to 2,500. Did I say I was departing to the west earlier? It's definitely the east. Montgomery departure Bonanza 141 Delta Delta 2,500.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, roger, altimeter 3020.
3020.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, you are leaving my airspace, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Apparently this is an approach. Montgomery approach, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. I'd like flight following. Can I get handed off to another controller?
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta Squawk 4272 and ident. Say altitude.
4272, and I'm at 2,500.
Navy on 635 Juliet Whiskey, right to 090, climb to 7,000.
Right to 090, climbing to 7,635 Juliet Whiskey.
Bonanza 567 Delta Echo Fly, heading 270 vectors for the visual 24.
Heading 270 vectors for the visual 24567 Delta Echo.
Alright, looks like I'm not getting flight following today. Montgomery approach, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, still requesting flight following.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta Squawk 4272 and ident.
Debug, I'm having a hard time picking up flight following. I've gotten squawk code and then was told that I was leaving their airspace, but never got a radar contact. Now I'm trying to get back in touch. They keep giving me the same squawk code, but they're not picking me up.
Thanks. Debug logged.
I'm just going to go ahead and switch to KMGM now. ATIS should be on 120675. I got that tuned in. Oh, I'm not listening, that's why. Alright, the 8 still is not coming up, so let me just go to tower. Delaney Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta is 10 miles to the west, 2,300 inbound to land. Delaney Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, do you copy?
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, enter left downwind for runway 28. Report midfield downwind.
Left downwind for runway 28 will report midfield. Thank you for Bonanza 1 Delta Delta.
Clearance delivery on 118.3. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Quebec.
This is coming up way too late.
Montgomery Regional, Danley Field, Airport information. Quebec. Time 045 Zulu. Windcom visibility 10 plus miles. Sky conditions clear. Temperature 5.6 Celsius. Dew point 4.4. Altimeter 299er4. Visual approach is in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures. Contact clearance delivery on 118.3. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Quebec. Montgomery Regional, Dannelly Field, Airport Information, Quebec.
Denley Tower, Bonanza, 141 Delta Delta is midfield runway 28. I have no idea why I'm flying a right pattern. I should totally be on the other side.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, roger, report turning base.
Denley Tower, Bonanza 1 Delta Delta. I must have spaced out. I realized I'm performing a right pattern. Is that all right?
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, negative, fly left traffic for runway 28. Report base. Skyhawk 505 Alpha Mike, descend to 2,000 feet, report established on the localizer.
Descending to 2,000 feet, will report established on the localizer, Skyhawk 505 Alpha Mike.
Denley Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. I realize I'm supposed to be on left traffic, but I am on right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn base now, unless you want me to re-enter the pattern.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, negative, continue right traffic for runway 28. Report when on final. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, extend downwind. Traffic on final, I'll call your base.
Denley Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. I've already turned base. How do you want me to proceed?
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, report when on final runway 28.
Denley Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, turning final for runway 28.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, runway 28, cleared for the option.
Clear for the option, going to be a full stop for Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. Thanks.
Nice landing, pilot. Transporter from dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
Tunneling ground Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, clear of runway 28 at Alpha 4, request taxi to parking.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta taxi to runway 28 via Alpha. Contact tower on 119.7 when ready for departure. Information Quebec is current.
I feel like I said taxi to parking, but
Cessna 908 Charlie
that I
Echo
want,
hold short of
departure.
taxiway Echo awaiting further instructions.
Holding short of taxiway Echo Cessna 908 Charlie Echo.
Tunneling ground Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. Sorry if I was not clear. I was asking for taxi to parking. Anytime now. Well, Brian's on, and he just made a change about not being able to pick up flight following, so maybe we will extend this if I can at least end my mission. I know one thing I can do, just set the parking brake and kill the engine, and oh gosh, what's the NeoFly will realize that I'm done, so let's just do that.
Okay, pilot. Removing the fragile goods may take a little longer than normal. Stand by.
After this, we'll close NeoFly and then just do a quick test.
Transporter. Another cargo mission completed. Thanks, and see you soon.
All right, let's book over to a parking spot that's more realistic.
R4. Visual approach is in use. Advise on course heading altitude and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 118.3. Advise on initial contact you have information Quebec. Montgomery Regional, Danley Field, Airport information Quebec. Time 045 Zulu. Windcom visibility 10 plus miles. Sky conditions clear. Temperature 5.6 Celsius. Dew point 4.4. Altimeter 2994. Visual approach is in use. Advise on course heading altitude and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions.
Montgomery ground, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. Ready to taxi VFR to departure to the south. I have Quebec.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta taxi to runway 21 via Alpha contact tower on 119.7 when ready for departure.
Taxi to runway 21 via Alpha. We'll go to tower on 119.7. Thanks. Kind of confused about why they thought I could just take Alpha all the way up there. Oh, I'm in the wrong squawk button again. Montgomery Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, holding short of runway 21, ready to depart for the south.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, runway 21, line up and wait.
Line up and wait for Bonanza 141 Delta Delta.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, winds calm. Runway 21 cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 21. Thanks.
Skyhawk 505 Alpha Mike, descend to 2,000 feet, report established on the localizer.
Descending to 2,000 feet, will report established on the localizer Skyhawk 505 Alpha Mike.
Mooney Niner 24 Foxtrot Delta, cleared to land runway tree 1.
Clear to land runway tree 1, Mooney Niner 24 Foxtrot Delta.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved. Thanks. Have a good day. Montgomery departure, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta at 3,300, climbing to 7,500. Just departed Montgomery to the south. Would like to pick up flight following.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta Squawk 5730 and ident. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta negative radar contact. Verify you are squawking 5730. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta radar contact. 5 miles south of Montgomery Regional, Danley Field, at 4,300 feet.
So I feel like as soon as it told me to squawk that code, it yelled at me for not doing it fast enough. So I'm going to try to cancel flight following and do it again. It also says Atlanta approach, but on all the charts it says it's Montgomery. Montgomery departure, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. I'd like to cancel flight following.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta Roger. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR. Frequency change approved.
Alright, let's try picking it up again once we level out at 5,500. Montgomery departure, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, 5,500, 9 miles south of Montgomery Regional. Would like to pick up flight following.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta Squawk 2755 and ident. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta negative radar contact. Verify you are squawking 2755.
Yeah, it's yelling at me again.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta negative radar contact. Verify you are squawking 2755. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta negative radar contact. Verify you are squawking 2755. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta negative radar contact. Verify you are squawking 2755. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta negative radar contact. Verify you are squawking 2755. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta negative radar contact. Verify you are squawking 2755. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta radar contact. 1 tree miles south of Montgomery Regional, Danley Field, at 5,400 feet.
Can I get the name of who is transmitting on this frequency, please? Is it Atlanta Approach? Is it Montgomery Approach? What is it?
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, this is Montgomery Approach on frequency 124.0.
Okay, well, at least it's who I thought it was. Montgomery Approach, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. Going to go ahead and descent to land at Frank Skies.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, roger, descend at your discretion. No traffic observed between you and Frank Sykes. Report on final. British Airways 228, maintain tree 00 knots, climb and maintain flight level tree 80.
Tree 00 knots, climbing to flight level 380, British Airways 228.
Biplane 11 Bravo Charlie, squawk 0315, switch to 135.4.
Squawking 0315, switching to 135.411 Bravo Charlie.
United 1349er, cleared visual runway tree 6 right. Maintain 170 or greater caution, wake turbulence. Cleared visual tree 6 right, maintaining 170 or greater, aware of wake turbulence, United 1349er. Gulfstream 9er Hotel Lima, maintain present speed, Super A380 behind you.
Maintaining speed 9er Hotel Lima.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, squawk 2755 and ident, say altitude. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, radar contact at 5,400 feet.
Montgomery Departure, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta would like to cancel flight hop.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, roger. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Squawking VFR, thanks for the support today. Alright, this airport should be fun. 30 feet wide, 2,000 feet long, poor condition. Let's see what happens.
Diamond 786 Juliet Kilo, climb to 5,500 contact center on 124.7.
Climbing to 5,500, switching to 124.7, 786 Juliet Kilo.
American 1145, slow to 170 knots, 5 mile, final contact tower, 118.3, good night.
Slowing to 170, contacting tower 118.3, good night American 1145.
Gulfstream 9er Hotel Lima, maintain present speed, Super A380 behind you.
Maintaining speed 9er Hotel Lima.
UPS 1231, 310 knots, rush to maintain 3,000, good rate please.
310 knots, rushing to 3000 UPS 1231.
Alright, well, that was fun, but I think it's time for me to go to bed. So, hope you all have a great evening. Good night.